Hey everybody, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty, giving you my weekly comic book review. So sit back and enjoy.
News about comic books, musical instruments, tech reviews, and video games with your host, Captain Frugal.
Welcome back, comic book fans, and welcome back to the channel. Every week, a flood of comics hits the shelves, and it can be tough to decide what to pick up. But don't worry, that's what I'm here for. We're about to dive in to this week's releases to crown one book the comic of the week. Will it be an epic superhero showdown, a mind-bending indie darling, or maybe a hilarious new series that everyone has been talking about? I've read a stack of them, and I've got some strong opinions. So stick around to the very end to see which comic earned the top spot and why you absolutely need to add it to your collection. Feel free to drop your own picks in the comments below. I'd love to see what you're reading. So, let's get into it. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more comic book reviews every week. Well, welcome back, comic book fans, as we journey into the comic shop. And boy, this week was pretty dismal for me. Last few weeks, I've had quite a few books to review. And this week, there just wasn't much out there that jumped out to me. With that said, when that happens, I read more back issues. I reread through all the Captain America issues again. Currently, I'm rereading Daredevils, all those again. Now, I haven't read every single Daredevil. There's lots of holes in my Daredevil reading, so I'm reading through those, getting a little more, Daredevil sense here. And sometimes I'll dip into some shorter series that maybe only had 15 issues or something like that. And this week definitely fits that because you ready? I only read and reviewed one issue. Yeah, that just nothing else out there seemed to really capture my interest. So I know some of you give me some great suggestions, and eventually I might pop into some of those series, especially when other ones are getting canceled, like Green Arrow, I believe, is getting canceled. So that sort of reduces the number. I can start picking up different ones and having time to do it. So anyway, I'm going to talk about Black Cat issue number 3 with 250 ratings, 3.8 score, mostly positive on League of Comics Geeks, and I gave it a 7.4, which is, nothing terrible, nothing that great though. The writer is G. Willow Wilson, artist Gleb Melkinov. And here's the thing, I will say, the cover of this issue, the standard cover, is really cool. I like this one. I mean, you got Black Cat and, well, she's awesome. I mean, she's got a certain appeal to her, but she's there in the background. I think is really what makes it cool is the Sandman's there in the background. There's some open order covers that are all right. Some, and they range from all right to some are really, really good ones. So there's some good variants here. And there's where part of the problem I find with this series is the covers capturing your attention, but the interior art doesn't match. Now, I know this is common for comic books, but this is a character that I think the art really, really matters. You need a person that can really draw the character in the right way. Now, don't make this as a perverted kind of thing, because this character and her sexuality is really a big proponent of her character and how she gets through things. And so when the artist can't capture that or doesn't do it great, it doesn't do the book justice. Now, I will say it does decent interior art, nothing bad here. What we have is the Black Cat, if you will, pretending or shifting gears, whatever you want to call it, to be a hero. And she's doing this to reduce the villain population, if you will, to make things easier for her. But doing that, of course, stirs up Spider-Man's villains, all to take her out. And that's what's interesting in this issue, is that we have her being a hero. Now, granted, she's played the part of the hero before. She's sort of done both. She teeters on both. So this isn't as big of a transition maybe as the writer tries to make it out to be. And she does capture some. Then Miss Marvel says, hey, we can't take these people, blah, blah, which makes me go, why is Miss Marvel in this issue? I get it. They're putting other heroes in the issue. Last one I had Daredevil. So I get that. But we'll see who they put in next, because Marvel keeps trying to push Miss Marvel, and she's just not cutting it. I mean, they put her in the Avengers video game. I'm clearly sure that did not help sell that game at all, right? The Marvels movie did not move the needle. Did not help with that movie at all. Her own series didn't do so great that it needed another season, right? It's just her books don't sell. It's just a character that Marvel loves to push for diversity politics that never seems to catch on. So I think we could have used a lot of different characters in the Spider-Man lore that would have better represented that position. I mean, could have been all kinds of different characters, but it's what Marvel does. It seems to be an issue. What do you think? Do you think they try to shove Miss Marvel in? Well, anyway, at the end of this issue, the Black Cat gets captured by the Sandman. Yeah, she doesn't put up much of a fight, which I think makes sense. I mean, especially the way he got her. To be fair, I think often a lot of writers underplay how dangerous the Sandman can be. A couple writers once in a while get it really right. This is a character, it's a major powerhouse, and can really keep himself defended for a lot of cases. Granted, he has some serious weaknesses, but if you can't capitalize on those weaknesses, he is an absolute major threat. Overall, this is a decent issue, but that, I think, lies the problem. If you're going to come out with a character that doesn't have as big of a fan base to draw people in, you have to create a way to draw them in, to get new readers. And when you go to get new readers, you can't have just a mid-tier book. Everything has to be fantastic. The art has to be fantastic to make them pick it up off the shelf. The story has to be fantastic to make them keep wanting to read the next issue. So the interior arts matter too, because if the interior art isn't wowing them as much, it's going to overall degrade the story. So let's say if it's on a scale of 10, the cover is probably going to be effective. Let's say 8 or 9 in effectiveness. The interior art, probably a 7. The story, probably a 7. Where you probably need everything to be getting an 8 and above to really be getting people to go, hey, have you read the Black Cat issue? The most recent one? Did you see what happened? And that's how you drive sales, right? When you go to the comic shop and they go, any new recommendations? Something cool? Yeah, check out the Black Cat. But when it's mid-tier, what can you say about it? Well, this book's okay. Well, that's not going to make that book jump off the shelf, especially when you have to pay such a high dollar price. And that really, I think, lies in the problem. The high cost of entry to comic books. Now, we got some people out there who say it's not high. It is. I'm sorry, it's high. Now, if we want to look at inflation and everything and how it measures up, I can do that. I can crunch numbers. I haven't done that in a little while. I can do that. But I can still tell you from the average person and their cost expenditures, this is expensive. This is a lot for what you get. This is a piece of entertainment that you get. It's probably going to give you 5 minutes of entertainment to 10. Yeah, because if you even look, most comic books don't take near as long to read as they used to either. So that's you're paying that much for 5 to 10 minutes of entertainment. That's a pretty high price. I mean, you could rent a movie, right? Yeah, off of streaming service or something for less, and they get more time. But granted, you get to keep this, and that's a benefit of that. So for a collector's purpose, it makes sense. But is the value really there? And that's why I think the comic shop talk is here today. Is the value still really there in purchasing a comic book? When you go to the shop, you think, when I buy this, this is going to be worth keeping for a long time. Because I'm going to tell you, investment-wise, most of these common ones, unless it's a key issue, most common issues aren't really a good investment, if you will. You could take in that same money, not most, all, let's be honest there. You could take that same money, reinvest it into something like an index fund, and make a lot more money than ever taking this and selling it. So much so, I've got key issues. I thought, maybe I'd just sell this and use that money to pump up the retirement more. Like the first appearance of Harley Quinn and things like that, where I can get hundreds of dollars for. I could put that into an index fund or any kind of fund and double my money much faster than that ever will. Much, much quicker. So what are your thoughts? Are these good investment tools, or are they just strictly a collector's tool? Is it worth the value that you're paying for? I would like to know. I hope this is a fun conversation today in the comic shop. Well, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful day, and until next time, keep it frugal.